Alright, back with Dynamo Man. Now, you're going to see a bit of a difference here. I had recorded fights for Astro Man and Magic Man. The recording fucked up, so I'm going to have to go back and do the levels without showing the boss fight. Luckily, it's a Mega Man game, and there's the obligatory boss rush coming up in a few levels, so you'll see what they're actually like. My fuck up on that one. So you're skipping a few levels. I've also gone and got a lot more of the upgrades now. Sticking to the auto charge one because I'm fucking lazy, to put it bluntly. And I cannot be bothered. You know, auto charging outside of fights where it actually matters. So, fairly stands up. I'm not grabbing the CD from up there. There is a trick to it. As you see there, you go back across. No, I can't be fucked. So we're going ahead. We're sliding under shit. We're just going to keep going. You see the bomb blocks here, and you see me very nearly take a dive into the spikes. Bomb blocks, pretty simple. If they're blue, you can blow them up as Mega Man. If they're red, you need a different setup to do it. Simple as that. Probably should have gone and got the power up there, but fuck it. As you'll see here, destroying only one half of those enemies is just a temporary release. Okay, now see the little glowing bit there? That's one of the upgrades I've got. That means there is a buried CD there, and I need to break out Roll to dig it up for me. So, as you see there's the CD detector. And I've got fuck all CDs. Of course, you have to be in a certain area. If you're too close to the edge when you summon him, he dives off, and you waste a shot. It kind of sucks like that. So these enemies here, they actually leave basically fire behind after you kill them for a few seconds. It's annoying because if you time it wrong, they will set you on fire, and that always sucks. You know. This is one of the sections that's actually a little bit harder with Mega Man because you don't have the ability to just blast your way through those ones and give yourself a bit more space to work with, which really does help. But it's not that big a deal, frankly. The biggest deal is the on-again, off-again switches down here. Although you do get a few sections where you can, as Mega Man, get up off the ground and save yourself. Not as many as you get as base, but some. And of course we've got the obligatory Sniper Joe fight here on the bloody, you know. Yeah, it's a bitch. The other thing about having the Roll upgrade is that he actually comes up as one of your regular weapon selections. So, if you're not careful, you will accidentally summon him during a boss fight or whatever, and you'll get your ass kicked for it. Roll may be a, very friendly man's, or Mega Man's best friend pet, but he can't fight for shit. So we're jumping, jumping, jumping. A little bit easier as Mega Man because you can't accidentally destroy the block. Jumping more, jumping. Now we're climbing ladders because Mega Man loves fucking ladders. CD down there, I'll show you how to get that in a second. We see this enemy make a return from, the second stage in the fucking game. And they haven't got any less annoying. In fact, if anything, they've got more annoying because there's more of them. Yeah. Jumping through, this is not actually a boss section, this is a mini-boss section. Breaking out Roll again to dig up another CD, because while I'm not a completionist, I am going to grab the stuff that's right fucking in front of me. You're also going to have a bit of a wait here, because I've got the health regen upgrade, which only works when you're not actually moving. So, we're going to sit here for about 30 seconds and, talk about shit as the life meter slowly clambers back towards the top, like a lobster out of a pit. Anyway, as I said, I fucked up the recording for Astro Man and Magic Man, which is good for me because it saves you seeing the absolute clusterfuck of a fight it was against Astro Man because I went in the wrong order. Astro Man's gimmick is that he stays up above you a lot. You can fight him effectively with just the Buster, but you normally need the Magic card to do it. You're supposed to fight Magic Man and then Astro Man. I fucked up and did it the other way around. So it was a long, slow fight that consisted basically of me trying to goad him into coming down to where I can shoot him. Would have been a lot easier as base because I would have just been able to look up and shoot. Mega Man's ability, apparently he has no vertebrae or something because he can't look up. Fucking Mega Man. And whoever fuck Dr. Light, I should say, for fucking designing him. Going back to the armor upgrade here for the mini boss fight, insofar as it is a boss fight. it's not really that important. You can even use the auto charge for a lot of fights. This one is just a blatant shoot fest. When the eyes open up and go blue, they are vulnerable. A single charge shot takes them out. You need to make sure they do not get down to the bottom, or if they do not, there's not a case of two of them getting down to the bottom. If two of them get down to the bottom, as you'll see in a little bit, what will happen is they will form up and pair up with a giant laser, as you see there. And once that happens, you have a hell of a time getting around it. The only way to dodge it is to time your slide just right. Otherwise, you're getting lasered. That's just how it works. Other than that, very simple mini-boss fight. Doesn't even really count as a mini-boss fight as far as I'm concerned. I'm only calling it that because they lock you in a room with the damn thing. And now we get the cunt part of the stage, where you have to use the glowing light to judge where you're going. And it only, shows a tiny section of the area, so you're traipsing around in the dark, trying not to land on too many spikes. As you see that little trick down there, you have to go around and dodge back. There is no shortcut to this area. It's just a matter of memorizing the actual setup and knowing where the spikes are, which is frequently not the same as where the spikes would be expected to be. So, yeah. It's also one of the few areas in this thing where you can actually leap up into your spiky doom, which is a trick, they're getting quite fond of. So we're back now to another conveyor belt section. Standard setup, there's really nothing more to say about it, except that it's motherfucking conveyor belts, And this will sling us through into the next area, where we get a couple of sections where not a lot happens, basically. I'm not even certain why those enemies are there. They're just there to keep you from jumping, which is rather a minor inconvenience, really, given that you don't actually want to be jumping in the first place. This enemy sets here are actually dangerous because they're, at the right height to screw you up. And you see me taking a lot of unnecessary hits as we get to the actual boss fight. So again, we get a bit of a break here while I recharge, even though I don't really need it. Dynamo Man is actually, as you'll find out in a minute or so when I actually fight him, one of the biggest bullshit bosses in this one, just because how easy and how hard he is determined entirely by which attack patterns he goes for. If he goes for the regular ones, you can beat him like the proverbial red-headed stepchild, and then beat him again for the fun of it. If he goes for the bullshit tactics, you can end up effectively having to fight him 3 or 4 times over. If you don't have the copy vision special ability, you're in a lot of shit against this guy because, well, you'll see it when I actually fight him, but suffice to say that finding some way of doubling your firepower is practically necessary against this guy. So now we're geared up, we're going into fight. This is a copy vision special, as I sort of work out which one of the two I want to be using. Anyway, so now after 8.5 minutes we're going to roll in against Dynamo Man, and he drops down with his giant phallic arms, or whatever the hell it is. That's the copy vision special ability. Start shooting, keep shooting. He doesn't actually have an elemental weakness per se. The copy vision doesn't actually do any extra damage. It's just that it doubles your firepower, and he's one of the few bosses who will stay in place long enough for you to really get use out of it. As you see there, the hits really racking up. That's one of his specials. Fortunately, the balls home in on the copy vision rather than you. And here we see the bullshit part where he drives up to the top and regenerates. The only way to stop him doing the regeneration is to destroy basically that side of it and force him to drop down, which is extremely difficult to do if you don't have the copy vision, because you can't get firepower on both sides at once. So if you don't have the copy vision, you have to let him recharge at least twice, if not more, probably 3 or 4 times. Whereas if you have the copy vision, well, you can probably get him so that he's only recharging once or twice. Still a pain in the ass, particularly since you can't actually control when he's going to do it. There are a couple of other weapons that work sort of well on him, but not well enough. He's also immune to the Tengu Blade, by the way. I don't know why, but he is. He's going to launch those electric balls at me, and I'm going to take the hit when I should be dodging. Because I've got the armor upgrades, I can take a hell of a beating off this guy. This is very sloppy play, though, as you see me sacrificing hits to do more damage in the short term, because I'm trying to make sure he doesn't actually get enough time to recharge again. So basically a kamikaze attack, because otherwise the fight would have dragged out twice as long, and without the special weapon I would have got my ass handed to me. So now Dynamo Man is down. We have the Lightning Bolt Screen Clearer special. Very useful. And now I'm going to have to go back, re-record 2 stages I've already done without the boss fights, do commentary for them, and then show you the actual boss fights during the rush. Fuck my life. Good night, fuck you all, see you next time.